Public speaking, public speaking, public speaking. Did you feel some type of way when you heard those two words, public and speaking? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you did, hey, I am here for you. I am Ramona J. Smith, world champion of public speaking, and I created this channel to help simplify public speaking. Let's keep it simple. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you join the family and the community. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and comment down below. Hit the notification bell if you're already a subscriber so that you know when I upload a video. Share this content if you feel like it's relevant to you, your coworkers, your family, your friends, your classmates, anybody who can benefit from making public speaking simple. Whew. So today I just want to address some real talk. And all my talk is real talk, but sometimes I try to keep it surface level because I know some people get uncomfortable with certain topics. But today I really want to focus on confidence and public speaking. Confidence and public speaking. Confidence and public speaking go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. In order to get on a stage in front of strangers, sometimes you have to get up on stage in front of people you do not know. You've never seen them before. You don't know them. You've never conversed with them, but you have to get on stage and present in front of them. That can be extremely intimidating and it can be scary. It can be just bottom line, flat out scary. You have to have public speaking confidence in order to get on any stage, whether you know the people or not, and deliver a presentation that's going to connect and resonate. And even on a more professional or informative level, give a message that the recipients are going to understand, that they're going to receive, and that they're going to hear exactly the way you intended them to hear it. Getting in front of an audience, it takes confidence. And what I'm noticing about a lot of speakers and a lot of people who want to come to me for public speaking coaching is we just lack confidence. We lack confidence. We don't believe in ourselves. We doubt ourselves. We down talk ourselves. We talk to ourselves negatively. We often talk ourselves out of public speaking because it's mental. And it bothers us mentally, and we can talk ourselves or think ourselves out of the confident mindset. I just really want to address that today because it's not something that is easy to conquer with a 1-hour session with a coach. It's not something that can be overcame or, I guess, healed or cured in maybe a week or so. That's something that takes time. That's something that takes work. That is something that is a gradual win. It's a gradual win to become a more confident speaker. Just because you work with a world champion or just because you work with a well-known life coach for 1 hour or two sessions, that does not mean that instantly you are going to be a more confident speaker. A lot of times I hear people say that I'm not this type of speaker, or I'm not as good as this person, or I want to speak like this person, or I wish I could sound more like this person, or how can I deliver like TD Jakes, or how can I really give that loud and motivational voice like Eric Thomas, or how can I have that soft, subtle delivery like a Steve Jobs, or how can I really just express myself through expletives like Gary V. And my response is those people have their own speaking style, which are they're all great. They're all amazing. None is better than the other one. So why can't you just find yours? Why can't you just find your voice? Why can't you just work on what is already within you? Why do you have to sound like Tony Robbins? Why do you have to sound like Iyanla Vanzant? Why do you have to sound like Oprah Winfrey? Why do you have to sound like Barack Obama? Why do you have to sound like Malcolm X? Why do you have to sound like Gary V? Why do you have to sound like Les Brown? Why? You don't have to. You have your own voice. You have your own uniqueness. And I am hoping that I can be the person to tell you that you don't have to sound, speak, walk, talk, act, move, think like anyone except your natural self. Your natural self. But then my question is, who are you? My question is, who are you? Do you even know who you are as a speaker? Let's go a little bit deeper. Do you even know who you are as a person? Because if I ask you who you are, and the first thing you start throwing out is titles and material things, we got some work to do there. Wayne Dyer, and I love Wayne Dyer and his teachings, God rest his soul, and may peace be upon him. Wayne Dyer would always say, if you are what you have, as far as material things, who are you if you don't have it? So don't tell me that, oh, I'm a teacher, I make $60,000 a year, I drive a BMW, I live in a condo, No! Who are you? Are you patient? Are you kind? Are you loyal? Are you funny? Are you silly? Are you comical? Are you hilarious? Are you altruistic? Are you ambitious? Are you goal-oriented? Are you shy? Are you quiet? Are you reserved? Are you extroverted? Are you introvert? Who are you? Who are you? You have to figure out who you are at the root and at the core. And that will be the first step in gaining confidence in life and gaining confidence as a speaker. I spoke about this in one of my previous videos, but nobody wants to hear this speaker that they may or may not know. But then when they open their ears and their hearts and their minds and their souls to you, you just sound like a junior version of Eric Thomas. Or you just sound like a carbon copy of Iyanla Vanzant. Like, no, nobody really wants that. And those are amazing and great speakers, but my challenge to you is to find your voice and to find the speaker within you. What's your speaking style? How do you feel comfortable on stage? What makes you really get into the flow of your speech? Who are you as a speaker? Have you figured that out yet? Have you found that speaker within? Have you found that world champion within? Have you found the champion within? Have you discovered the speaker within you? Well, Ramona, I don't know what you mean. I don't know. I'm not a speaker, or I hate public speaking. No, I get that. I completely understand that. But as we know in life, there are going to be times when we have to get up there and speak. We have to. If someone asks us to say a few words at a ceremony, if someone asks us to pitch for our new ideas or pitch a new client, if you're in sales and you have to speak to new clients and customers, or if there's just some new information within a company that you have to distribute to your other coworkers, you're going to have to speak. Sometime throughout your beautiful, lovely, hopefully long life, you're going to have to speak in public. So why not enjoy it, and why not do it your way? And do what feels comfortable to you. I love the Frank Sinatra song. It was one of my dad's favorite songs. I did it my way. I did it my way. What's your way? How do you figure out your way? You figure out your way by practice. I know we hate to practice public speaking. I know some of us like to speak from our hearts. Some of us are amazing off the cuff, impromptu, extemporaneous speakers. That's beautiful. That's amazing. But even with off the cuff speaking, it's good to practice before you actually get into the game. You can practice extemporaneous speaking by taking maybe 2 or 3 minutes and just Googling a random topic and seeing how long you can speak on that topic. That's how you practice extemporaneous speaking. For those who be like, who may say, well, how do you practice speaking off the cuff? If it just comes off the top of your head, how do you practice? You practice that by talking about random things randomly. And the more you do that, the better you'll be able to grind the gears and think on your feet. Anywho, we're talking about speaking style. So you have to practice getting on the stage and learning what comes naturally to you, and learning what your gestures are, and learning what your bad habits may be. I have a bad habit of saying right. Now, before I get on the stage for a presentation that I've been paid to deliver, of course, there are going to be no rights, because I've polished this presentation. I have practiced this speech. I have written this speech. I have rehearsed this speech. There are no rights in this speech because that's not the way I practiced it. However, when I'm doing a YouTube video and I'm just speaking to my family and my community here on YouTube, there are some rights that go in there. But practicing helps you get rid of those filler words. Getting on stage helps you observe yourself and look at yourself objectively as if you were in the audience, and it helps you see what you may not see when you don't see yourself. Because when you are on a stage, you don't see yourself speaking. You don't see yourself unless there are teleprompters or big screens where you can catch a glimpse of yourself, but you don't see yourself. The audience sees you. So once you get off the stage and you look at the recording and you look at the footage or you look at your phone, you can say, oh my goodness, I touched my hair 15 times. Oh my goodness, I tugged at my shirt 25 times. Oh my goodness, I said 72 times. It gives you a different perspective of how you deliver on stage. Are you a person who paces a lot? What did you say that made the audience laugh that you thought that maybe wasn't even funny, but it was just you saying something and they loved it? What was those moments? What were those moments where you really had the audience listening, where it was just dead quiet and you realized they were listening? So practicing and getting more stage time, as Darren LaCroix would say, getting more stage time and getting up there and finding your comfort zone. And that's the same thing with anything. My mother used to always say, the more you practice something, the better you get at it, because when you know what you're doing, it doesn't take long. When you know what you're doing, it doesn't take long. But to get to that point, you have to practice, you have to evaluate, you have to give yourself feedback, you have to look at yourself, you have to kind of, in a way, nitpick at certain things that you want to adjust and change. However, you don't want to get so caught up in trying to compare yourself with other speakers that you lose yourself while you're trying to make improvements. Right? And I just said right. See, I'm being aware. So when I watch this, I'm like, okay, I said right again. But what I'm saying is, in order to get better at public speaking and to get more confident with your public speaking, you have to get on stage and you have to take certain risks. You may have to bomb a joke a few times. You may have to try to deliver information in different ways to see, one, what you're comfortable with, and two, to see what the audience actually is going to connect with and interact with. But what you don't want to do is try to get up there and be someone else completely, because that is going to build a brick wall between you and the audience. The audience members know when you're being yourself and when you're not. I don't know how. I don't know if it's intuition. I don't know if it's just a natural human thing, but they can know when things are forced or when things look so robotic. We will be able to know. So I think the first step with becoming a more confident speaker is knowing who you are as a person. Not what you have, not how much you make, not where you live, but knowing who you are at the core of your soul. Knowing who you are. And two, stop comparing yourself to other speakers. It is fine to look at their techniques and their strategies and to implement them into some of the things that you do when you speak, but you don't want to start copying their voices or moving exactly the way they move or doing exactly what they do with their hand gestures. Don't do that. It's okay to take bits and pieces and sprinkle some dust, sprinkle some fairy dust on your presentations to make it more tasty and to make it more professional, but you do not want to be an exact replica of another speaker. And learning what works for you on stage and getting those feelings and being aware and being present and being in the moment and vibing with yourself and saying, wow, that felt good. And then doing more of that, right? Doing more of what feels good to you on stage. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, please feel free to contact me at contact@RamonaJSmith@gmail.com. You can always follow me on Instagram, Ramona J. Smith, the number 1, Ramona J. Smith 1. You can find me on Facebook, Ramona Smith, or Ramona J. Smith. think I have 2 pages. LinkedIn is Ramona J. Smith, and you can visit my website, ramonajsmith.com. Always remember to be yourself in order to build your confidence and to get up, get out, and get that stage time in order to see what works and see what doesn't. You can always work with me. We can work together and we can make it work. Either way, learn to trust yourself, learn to be yourself, and learn to love yourself. And I didn't even mean for this to be all soulful and soul searchy, but that's really the key to confidence. Getting up there, knowing who you are. Preparation and knowledge, that equals confidence. I will see you guys in the next one.